Good morning. Here in the States, it's Christmas Eve, and it is also just a magical time. We have 8 days before the end of the year. And what I wanted to do today is talk about how do we manage these solar flares from a different perspective. So, what I've noticed is that there are increasing steady flares, have been for 14 months, right? So we're getting used to high class C's, M class, and an occasional X. And over the last year, I've been holding these solar flares and saying, what are we going to do about those? Because there are symptoms that come up, whether it's headaches, whether it's anxiety, whether it's muscle and joint pain, digestive issues, sleep, right? Nerve tinglings, bizarre joint or nerve tinglings that are going on in the middle of the night. Or I'm cooking dinner the other day and I just get this huge shoot of something going across my shoulder. And I'm like, whoa, that was interesting, right? Heart palpitations, cramps in your solar plexus, in your breathing, in your lungs, loud ringing in your ears. There's a lot of things I've covered before on the symptoms in a previous video, which, by the way, is over 5,000 hits at this time. This is awesome. There are also some beautiful things that are coming out of these solar flares, which is insights, deep knowing, the ability to sort of detach and observe, like, whoa, this is interesting. I didn't see that before. Excitement, alignment, some bliss. And there are some moments of just like, wow, this is what's possible. And so, we hold these two in balance. We have these symptoms, but we also have these gifts, right? So we're on this roller coaster. First, we're feeling like our digestive system is been rotor rooted, and we don't know what to do. And then we have it with later that afternoon an entire insight of, oh, this is what I understand now, right? So we partner with it, we freak out, we trust, we move around, and it is my hope to continue to offer guidance through all of this as is going on, right? So the what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the magician, because in tarot, this is the Thoth deck. This is the magician in the Thoth deck. He's juggling all of the four elements. This is the magician in the Zen Osho Zen tarot, which I love. She's sitting there watching the entire world, going, "Oh, so I'm back, and this is what I'm going to do this time, right?" And then this is my paper just fell. This is the magician in the mystical moments, right? She's holding a goose. She's in this magical garden of creating things, right? And I love the idea of the garden because what it sort of talks about is that um, we're embodied in earth. How we live, how we grow, what we do on earth is completely up to us, right? So we're in this garden. And so I love the way the magician is portrayed on that, right? Um, we are being impacted by electromagnetic light. It's hitting our DNA, it's hitting our systems. And how do we go into the elements and go, what is it that I can do right now, right? How am I going to do this? Because we're changing on a really significant cellular level. So when we go to the magician in the tarot cards, right? The wands, they are fire. They are our will. They come out of our right shoulder. They're Mars. This is how we balance, right? How we direct our will makes sense, right? How we direct the will that we're working with. And then we have our cups, right? Which is water. It's it's our intuition and our emotions. How do we balance and direct our emotions? Then we have the swords, which is our mental, which is reason. How do we balance and direct our reasons? And then we have earth, which is pentacles, it's substance. It's like, how do we plant the garden? How do we determine the physical reality that we live in what we do? I love the elements. I bring it into my coaching. I help balance the fire, the emotions, the mental, and always look at empowerment and embodiment, right? So we are our most valuable resource, right? Because we use our wisdom, we use our understanding, we use um, our ability to explore and adapt and learn. and we shift and we change and we transform. So, what we're doing is we're looking at how do I shift out of reaction, which is, oh crap, this just happened again, and into this navigating like, whoa, this is a new challenge. How do I do this without fear, without anger, without taking it out on the people around us when the world around us is shaking? Makes sense, right? So, as we enter these last 8 days of 2023, we've had a steady year of solar activity that has activated everything, starting to shake loose everything that no longer serves us, anything that has been out of alignment with ourselves, anything that has been, ooh, um, I don't want to say wrong. What I want to say is it's a direction that we took, a path that we took that wasn't working. And we stubbornly used our willpower to say, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to stay in this marriage. I'm going to stay in this job. I'm going to stay in this house. I don't want anybody to know I can't afford it. Or I'm going to stay in this line of work, which is something that makes me money as opposed to something that feeds my soul. So I have 5 tips for you. And before I go into the tips, what I want to do is point out that the kind of coaching that I've been doing lately, I started with parent child dynamics in the family systems. And then I started to move into systems and patterns, right? Emotional, energetic patterns, how they play off of parent child. And then using the elements, which was really, really fun. Self knowledge, creating stability, and creating empowerment. So all of this kind of comes out in these sessions, and it's been really, really fun. So if you want to do some coaching sessions with me, just let me know, drop me a message. And so let's get on with those tips, right? So I think the first one, what we want to talk about is we want to use our mental skills to detect everything that's contributing to the factors of what we're experiencing, right? In our physical body, in our emotional issues, in our anxiety, in our pains. What we want to do is find out what's influencing those. So is it tension in the house, right? Or is it coming from the outside in the form of flares? Because what we want to do is sort of look at it like, I want to be prepared. So if you live in a state like Montana and you want to drive around in the winter, it helps if you know what the weather report is and where the snow is going to fall, because then you can be prepared, right? You can prepare your car. You can make sure your tires are inflated and they don't slide. You have the right shoes on. You have emergency equipment in case you get stuck in the snow. These are just things that you prepare for. So, using our mental capacity, we prepare when we know what's going on, right? Number two, when we feel the emotions inside of us, sadness, grief, triggering responses, um, fear, anxiety, worry, the stories come up. Oh no, here we go again. This is going to be a hard blah, 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 right? Look at what you're discovering. Look at what it feels like in your body. Oh, I keep repeating the same stories. I keep playing the card over and over and over again that this is when this happens, this is what I'm going to do. So, what we do is we start to hold ourselves like we would if we were a small child. And we want to make sure that we're soft and we're nurturing and we're strong and we're solid. Like, hey, I got this. I'm noticing that this is going on and I know that you're feeling this and it's okay. This is what we're going to do about it. So we turn into that nurturing parent to ourselves, right? It's number two. When our emotions come up, we nurture ourselves and we listen and we feel it. Number three, decide what you want to do and use your willpower, your fire to steer it, to navigate, to choose, to decide, right? Because these flare symptoms are intense and they're so intense that eh, you can kind of go, oh, there's a big one that just hit. I feel the waft of it. It is time to put down something rather than force it. It is time to go, okay, I've done enough for today. I'm going to fold up my work. I'm going to sit back, close my eyes, meditate for about 5 minutes. If you can, I'm going to go home and rest. If you can hydrate, but you can take that break, right? Because what you're doing is you're using your willpower. You're using that right shoulder to say, I get it, and I'm not going to force my way through this. I'm not going to deny it. I'm going to do self care and I'm going to do self support. So we use our flame, our fire to support ourselves as a power broker, right? Number four, we use the earth. We use nature because one if we're in our house and if we're at work and if we have the TV on and if we have electronics going on around us and we're agitated from the flare, the most important thing was to turn them off, to maybe light a candle, to run some water, get your hands under warm water, take a bath, take a shower, go step outside, stand in the snows. If you live in a warm climate, stand in the grass. Just bundle up or put a jacket on, take a walk at night, see if you can find the moon, see if you can find the stars. If it's during the day, find the sun, put your face into the sun, take some breaths and allow your body to realign. Touch the tree, hold some rocks in your hands. Get outside and let nature realign you because what it does is it immediately calms down our nervous system because it is a support system for us. Makes sense, right? And then number 5, the last one is to have compassion because we're in these tumultuous months going on a year now. It might be 2 years as we go into 2024. This might be the new normal. I'm not really sure. That's why I keep investing in this because this is not disappearing. It wasn't sort of a once and done. When we are also gathering with friends, it's Christmas Eve. We have dinners, we may have children with Christmas expectations, we may have holiday traditions, we may be in it, right? We may be in it, we've traveled, we're having people over, we might be doing any of that, right? So when we're with our friends and family, is it calming or is it agitating? Is there tension? Is there some repetitive triggers? I've been posting a lot on triggers, right? Have compassion with yourself. Like, it's okay, just breathe through this. This is 24 hours. This is 48 hours. This is a week where I'm going to encounter a lot of things that challenge me. And then what you do is you have compassion for yourself. You have compassion for your children. You have compassion for your partner. You have compassion for the family system. You have a compassion for the collective because we're all in it right now. Um, and what we need is we need kindness, we need love. So I hope that that supports you on this beautiful day as you go into the holiday. And remember, it's all about taking care of ourselves right now. I'll see you next week. Bye.